Peppa Pig Babysitting. Mummy and Daddy Pig are going out for the evening. Granny and Grandpa Pig are babysitting Peppa and George.
Hooray!
Granny Pig, Grandpa Pig, says Peppa happily.
Daddy Pig, Peppa Pig.
George joins in. Good night, says Daddy Pig. Good night, says Mummy Pig. Now go to sleep quickly. What little darlings, says Granny Pig. So well behaved. Peppa yawns and Daddy Pig switches off the bedroom light. Mummy and Daddy Pig leave for their evening out. Inside the house, Grandpa and Granny sit down on the sofa. They share a tasty pizza. This babysitting is easy, says Grandpa Pig. In the bedroom, Peppa does not want to go to sleep. George, are you awake? She whispers. George grunts excitedly. Peppa laughs. She climbs down the bunk bed ladder and switches on the bedroom light. George picks up a spotted ball and bounces it to Peppa. She bounces it back. They both giggle. Soon there are toys all over the floor. It is so hard to go to sleep when playing is much more fun. Grandpa Pig and Granny Pig are watching TV. Peppa and George come downstairs to the living room. George and I are not sleepy at all, says Peppa. Can we watch TV with you? I suppose watching a little TV might make you sleepy, says Granny Pig.
Hooray!
The TV show is about gardening. This programme is very boring, says Peppa, yawning. She suggests playing a game instead. Grandpa, can you throw us up and catch us? Asked Peppa. Okay, but just one turn each, says Grandpa. Peppa laughs as Grandpa Pig throws her in the air, then catches her. You seem heavier than before, says Grandpa Pig. Now it is George's turn, says Grandpa Pig. George loves feeling like he's flying. Hiya, hiya, shouts George, as Grandpa Pig starts to wheeze. Maybe Grandpa is a bit tired, says Granny Pig. Granny, let's play it, says Peppa. You're it. Peppa taps Granny Pig on the nose. Granny Pig chases Peppa, George and Grandpa Pig around the sofa. I'm going to catch you, she cries. Everyone runs and giggles. Later, Mummy and Daddy Pig arrive back home. I hope our little piggies are asleep, says Mummy Pig. Peppa, George, Grandpa Pig and Granny Pig are all snoring on the sofa. The little piggies are asleep, whispers Daddy Pig, and so are the big piggies. The Recorders. Peppa and her friends are at playgroup. Morning, children, says Madame Gazelle. Today we are going to play the recorder. Ooh, gasp the children, listening as Madame Gazelle plays a tune. Madame Gazelle hands a recorder to each of the children. Now, does anyone know how to play music on the recorder? She asks. You blow it like this, cries Peppa. That is not music, Peppa, says Madame Gazelle. That is a horrible noise. To make music, we must play in a way that sounds not horrible, suggests Danny Dog. Yes, Danny, says Madame Gazelle. Madame Gazelle tries to teach the children how to play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star on the recorder. Cover these little holes with your fingertips and blow, she says. The children play on the recorders. It's time for the children's parents to pick them up from playgroup. Remember, the most important thing when learning to play a musical instrument, says Madame Gazelle, is lots and lots of practice. Goodbye, Madame Gazelle, everyone calls. Sounds like someone is learning to play the recorder, says Daddy Pig. It's me, cries Peppa. Madame Gazelle said I have to practice lots. Oh, says Mummy Pig. Daddy Pig will help you while I do some work in another room. Susie Sheep is practicing the recorder at her house too. La la la, sings Mummy Sheep. Yes, that's it, Susie. Keep going. Danny is also practicing. Very good, Danny, says Captain Dog. How about we go out on my boat now? No, replies Danny. I have to keep trying until I get it right. Of course, says Captain Dog. Peppa and her friends have been practicing the recorders all week, and now it's time to do a concert for the parents. Welcome to our concert, parents, says Madame Gazelle. Ready, children? The children play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star together on their recorders. It is a very noisy concert. At the end of the concert, the parents give the children a big round of applause. Haven't the children worked hard? Says Madame Gazelle. Yes, replies Daddy Pig, and now it's over. It's strange to think it was only for a week of our lives. I want you to learn this next tune, says Madame Gazelle. She plays Mary Had a Little Lamb on her recorder. The children try to copy her. Remember, go home and practice, 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 says Madame Gazelle. Peppa loves the recorder. Everyone loves the recorder. Peppa Pig, best friends. Once upon a time, Peppa's best friend, Susie Sheep, came to play. I have something to show you, said Susie. Susie held up a photograph of a baby sheep. Look, it's me, said Susie. You're not a baby, Susie, said Peppa, shaking her head. This is an old photo, Susie explained. It was taken when I was a baby. Peppa snorted. She didn't remember Susie being a baby. That was just silly. Susie pointed at Peppa. In the olden days, you were a baby too, she said. I don't remember being a baby, says Peppa. But you were, insisted Susie. Ask your mummy. Peppa and Susie raced inside. Mummy Pig was working on the computer. Mummy, cried Peppa, Susie is making up stories. No, I'm not, Susie said. Peppa told Mummy Pig about Susie's silly idea. I don't remember being a baby, Peppa insisted. But you were a baby, Peppa, said Mummy Pig. Mummy Pig pulled up a picture of a baby pig on the computer. Who do you think this is, Peppa? She asked. Peppa thought that the baby looked like her cousin, Baby Alexander. Is it Baby Alexander? She asked. No, replied Mummy Pig. That's you as a baby, Peppa.
Wow.
Peppa was surprised. She had been a baby. Peppa and Susie giggled. Baby Peppa looked very cute. George and Daddy Pig came in to see what all the fuss was about. Look, Daddy, said Peppa, that's me as a baby. I remember it, said Daddy Pig. That photo was taken on our first day in this house. What do you mean? Asked Peppa. Daddy Pig told Peppa, Susie and George that they had moved into their house when Peppa was very little. We brought all our things on top of our car, he said. Mummy Pig put up some pictures, said Daddy Pig. Daddy Pig put up a shelf, said Mummy Pig. And Grandpa made us a lovely flower garden. Peppa and Susie went outside. There was no flower garden at this house. Why don't we have a flower garden now? Peppa asked. We used to, but Daddy Pig looked after it, Mummy Pig sighed. Said Daddy Pig, embarrassed. We had the wrong kind of soil for flowers. Was Susie my friend in the olden days? Asked Peppa. Daddy Pig nodded. Of course, he said. You and Susie have always been best friends. Peppa wondered what game she played with Susie when they were little. Did we jump up and down in muddy puddles? She asked. No, Mummy Pig laughed. You were babies. You couldn't even walk yet. What did we do when we were babies? Asked Susie. You cried. You burped. And you laughed, said Mummy Pig. Susie and Peppa giggled. It must have been so silly being babies. Baby Peppa. Baby Susie. And then you grew into toddlers, continued Mummy Pig. And you played together all the time. But where was George? Peppa asked. He was a baby in my tummy, said Mummy Pig. Peppa thought for a moment. Daddy Pig's tummy was even bigger than Mummy's. Is there a baby in there? She asked. No, Peppa, chuckled Daddy Pig. This tummy is pure muscle. Soon George was born, Mummy Pig said, and Granny and Grandpa Pig bought him a very special present. Can you guess what it was, Peppa? Peppa knew just what present it had been. Mr. Dinosaur, she cried. Grr, grr, grr. Daddy Pig said that little Peppa and Susie liked to do everything together. They liked to jump, dance, and run around all over the place. Then one day, said Mummy Pig, you saw something amazing. A muddy puddle. You love jumping up and down in muddy puddles together, said Mummy Pig. I still love muddy puddles, cried Peppa. Me too, cried Susie. Peppa, George and Susie looked for the biggest muddy puddle they could find and jumped right in. Daddy Pig brought his camera. "Let's take a photo of you, Susie and George now, Peppa," he said.
"Yes," exclaimed Peppa, "because Susie and I were best friends in the olden days and we're still best friends now."
Little or big, Peppa and Susie will always be best friends, and they will always love jumping up and down in muddy puddles. The end. Peppa Pig, Fix It, Daddy Pig. The toy is broken. Daddy Pig will fix it. The wall is broken. Oh no! Daddy Pig will fix it. The car is broken. Daddy Pig will fix it.
Hooray!
The screen is broken. Daddy Pig will fix it. The clock is broken. Daddy Pig will fix it. The kite is stuck. Daddy Pig will fix it. Look at that mud. Daddy Pig will fix it. Hooray for Daddy! He is the Fix-It Pig. The end. Captain Daddy Dog. Peppa, George and their friends are playing at Danny Dog's house.
"Woof! I'm a sea captain,"
barks Danny.
"I'm sailing my ship around the world. And we are jolly pirates,"
cries Peppa.
"Arr!"
Mummy Dog asks Danny and his friends to come outside.
"Mr. Zebra the postman has delivered a postcard from your daddy. He's finished his sailing trip and he's coming home,"
says Mummy Dog.
"Hooray!"
cries Danny. Mummy Dog and Danny are very excited about Captain Dog coming home.
"I wonder when he'll be back,"
asks Mummy Dog. Danny and his friends hear a sound coming from the bottom of the hill. "Hello!"
"Daddy's here already,"
cheers Danny, racing down the hill. "Hello, Danny," says Captain Dog.
"How long are you home for, Daddy?"
asks Danny. "Forever," replies Captain Dog. "My travelling days are over. I've sailed around the world and made my fortune."
"Wow!"
"Hooray!" cheers Danny. Danny and Captain Dog walk up the hill to see Mummy Dog. "Mummy Dog, my sweetheart," says Captain Dog. "I really missed you both when I was away, so I'm hanging up my captain's hat for good." Captain Dog takes everyone inside the house and tells them all about his travelling adventures.
"Wow!"
"I've been away for a year and a day, sailing around the world," he begins.
"All the way around?"
asks Danny. "Yes," replies Captain Dog.
"What did you do at the bottom of the world?"
asks Peppa.
"Did you fall off?"
asks Danny. "No," says Captain Dog. "I held on tightly. It was an adventure," he says proudly, imagining himself back at sea. "I've brought presents for you all," says Captain Dog. "Here is a drum for Danny, some seashells for all the children,
"Wow!"
and a chest of gold and jewels for Mummy Dog.
Oh, thank you, Captain Dog, everyone says. Oh, how lovely, cries Mummy Dog. Gold and jewels will come in very handy.
The next morning, Danny and Captain Dog are up very early.
I've got a boat that Grandad Dog made for me, barks Danny. You could help me sail it at the pond, Daddy.
That sounds like fun, says Captain Dog. Let's get Mummy Dog and go there now.
Will you be my boat's captain, Daddy?
asks Danny when they arrive. I'd be delighted, Danny, says Captain Dog. Will you be my first mate?
Wow. Yes, please,
cheers Danny. Launch the boat, commands Captain Dog.
Aye, aye, Captain,
replies Danny. Peppa, George and their friends are at the duck pond too. My last adventure was sailing a boat around the world, Captain Dog tells them. My next adventure is sailing a boat across a duck pond. Captain Dog likes sailing across the duck pond. Everyone likes sailing across the duck pond. The end. Granny and Grandpa Pig's Attic. Peppa and George are at Granny and Grandpa Pig's house.
Hello, my little ones, calls Granny Pig. Why is Granny on the roof?
asks Peppa.
We're tidying the attic, says Grandpa Pig.
The attic is where old things are kept. Granny and Grandpa Pig's attic is at the very top of the house. The door to the attic is in the ceiling.
Wow. How do we get up there?
asks Peppa.
You climb up a ladder, Peppa. I'll send it down,
says Granny Pig. The attic is dark and dusty.
Granny, there are boxes everywhere,
cries Peppa.
They're full of old junk,
says Granny Pig.
Peppa and George are here to help us throw some things out,
says Grandpa Pig.
How about this box,
says Granny Pig, pulling out a ship in a bottle. Then she pulls out another ship in a bottle. The box is full of ships in bottles.
No,
cries Grandpa Pig. I need them all.
Well, we have to throw something out,
says Granny Pig. Grandpa Pig finds a box of hats.
Not my hats,
says Granny Pig. They can't decide what to throw out.
I know,
says Granny Pig.
We'll let Peppa and George decide.
Peppa spots something on the floor.
Let's throw away this old case,
she says.
Not that one,
cried Granny and Grandpa Pig. Grandpa Pig opens the case and shows Peppa and George what's inside.
It's a record player,
says Grandpa Pig.
Wow. Record players are used to play music,
explains Granny Pig. Grandpa Pig puts a record on and music starts to play. Come on, Peppa, George, let's dance, says Grandpa Pig.
Dancing in the attic is fun,
cries Peppa. When Mummy Pig arrives to pick up Peppa and George, she looks around but can't find anyone. Then she hears noise coming from the top of the house. Mummy Pig climbs the ladder. There you all are, she cries.
Mummy, look at this record player,
says Peppa. I used to play this record when I was little, says Mummy Pig. It's called Birdie Birdie Woof Woof. I thought it had been thrown out ages ago. Everyone sings along with the record. The birds go woof, the dogs go tweet. Woof, tweet, woof, tweet, woof, woof, woof. The sheep go moo and the cows go ba. Moo, ba, moo, ba, moo, moo, moo. Birdie, birdie, woof, woof is a very funny song. That was fun, says Grandpa Pig. But we were supposed to be finding things to throw out. You should keep everything, decides Peppa. Everyone agrees that that's a very good idea. The end. Peppa Pig. Peppa goes ice skating. Today, Peppa and George are going ice skating. They have not been skating before. Don't worry, George, says Peppa. Ice skating looks easy. I'll show you how to do it. Well, first we need some skates, says Mummy Pig. 4 pairs of skates, please, Miss Rabbit. There you go, says Miss Rabbit. Happy skating! Peppa's friends are skating today too. They are all very good. Shall I teach you how to skate, Peppa? asks Susie Sheep. No, thank you, replies Peppa. I'm sure I can already do it. But ice skating is not as easy as it looks. Oof! Peppa falls onto her bottom on the ice. Ouch! Ice skating is too hard, cries Peppa. I don't want to do it anymore. Never mind, Peppa, says Daddy Pig. Everyone falls over when they are learning how to skate. Mummy Pig shows Peppa what to do. It's easy, she says. Just push with your feet and glide, see? Soon Peppa is skating all by herself. Look at me, she shouts. I'm skating. Ice skating is fun. Whee! Come on, George, says Peppa. Now I'll teach you how to skate. But George doesn't need Peppa's help. Look at George, cries Mummy Pig. He can skate beautifully. Yes, George, you did very well for your first lesson, says Peppa. Peppa and George love ice skating. Everyone loves ice skating. Mummy taught me to skate, says Peppa, but I taught George. The end. Peppa Pig, fun at the fair. Today, Peppa and her family are at the fun fair. Slidey, slidey, giggles George. George wants to go on the helter-skelter, says Daddy Pig. Daddy Pig and George head off to the helter-skelter. Come on, come all, shouts Miss Rabbit. Hook a duck and win a giant teddy. I'll try to win one for you, Peppa, says Mummy Pig, but I don't think it will be easy. It's impossible, laughs Miss Rabbit. We'll see about that, says Mummy Pig. Sploosh! Mummy Pig has hooked a duck. Hooray!
cheers Peppa. That's amazing, cries Miss Rabbit. Here's your giant teddy. Wouldn't you like a little teddy instead, Peppa? No way, giggles Peppa happily. George and Daddy Pig are at the helter-skelter. It's a bit high, George. Are you sure you want to have a go? Asks Daddy Pig. George giggles and runs up the stairs to the top. It's a bit too high, and George starts to cry. Don't worry, George, I'll come up with you, says Daddy Pig. Whee! Cries George, sliding all the way down the helter-skelter. Now George is having too much fun to be scared. It is a bit high, says Daddy Pig nervously. Daddy Pig is more scared than George. Oops! Daddy Pig slips down the slide. Peppa and Mummy Pig are at the hit the target stall. You can do that easily, Mummy, says Peppa. Oh, you won't win, laughs Mr. Labrador. Women are useless at this. What did you say? Says Mummy Pig crossly. She picks up the bow and arrow and aims. Whoosh! The arrow hits the target right in the middle. Mummy Pig wins again. Unbelievable, cries Mr. Labrador. Here's your teddy. Hooray! Cheers Peppa. Now she has 2 giant teddies. Daddy Pig and George are riding on the big wheel. George loves it. But Daddy Pig is a little bit scared. This is really high, says Daddy Pig, as the big wheel goes round and round. Giggles George. Daddy Pig and George find Peppa and Mummy Pig. Hit the button with a hammer, says Mr. Bull. If the bell rings, you win a prize. I'll have a go, says Daddy Pig. Stand back. I think you're a bit wobbly from the big wheel, says Mummy Pig. Ho ho, laughs Mr. Bull. Daddy Pig is looking a bit shaky. What? Says Mummy Pig crossly. Give me that hammer. Whack! Mummy Pig hits the button as hard as she can. The bell rings loudly. Ding, 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 ding! Everyone is very impressed. Mummy Pig wins all the giant teddies at the fair. Hooray! Cheers Peppa, and she gives all of her friends 1 giant teddy bear each. Hooray! Everyone cheers. We love fun fairs! The end.
Hi kids, did you have fun watching this video? Then like and subscribe for more.